Audiobook Academy Biography presents Henry Ford. Henry Ford revolutionized automotive assembly line production, making the Model T one of America's finest creations. In 1908, Henry Ford, an American automaker, introduced the Model T and the assembly line, two innovations that would have a profound impact on the business. That led to the company selling numerous cars and making Ford an internationally recognized corporate leader. The company's supremacy in the market was short-lived, but its impact on other technological advancements, labor difficulties, and the infrastructure of the United States was profound. Ford is now regarded as one of the country's most successful businesspeople for his role in stabilizing the country's economy during its most perilous period. Early years and education. John Henry Ford was born on July 30, 1863 in Wayne County, Michigan, not far from Dearborn. Ford's father gave him a pocket watch when he was 13 years old, and the youngster swiftly disassembled and reassembled it. Astonished friends and neighbors begged that he repair their watches as well. To escape the monotony of farm work, Ford left his parents' farm at the age of 16 and began an apprenticeship at a shipbuilding company. The years that followed saw him mastering the art of steam engine maintenance and repair while also studying the fundamentals of bookkeeping. Ford and Claire Alla Bryant were married in 1888. Edsel was born in 1893 to the couple. Inventions. The Detroit Edison Company employed Henry Ford as an engineer in 1890. In 1893, he was promoted to chief engineer because of his inherent abilities. Ford was working on his horseless carriage concepts at the same time. With a two-cylinder, 4-horsepower engine, Ford created his first gasoline buggy in 1892. In 1896, he built the Ford Quadricycle, his first automobile type. His car concepts were presented to Thomas Edison that same year when he attended an Edison management meeting. Ford was inspired to create a better model by the lighting genius, Ford Motor Company. Ford received his first carburetor patent in 1898. Ford quit Edison Illuminating Company in 1899 to focus solely on his auto manufacturing firm after raising funds from investors following the development of a third model. It was in 1903 that Henry Ford finally formed the Ford Motor Company after a series of failures in the automotive and business fields. The Ford Model T. Ford developed the Model T in October 1908 and produced it until 1927, making it the first car that the majority of Americans could buy. The car, also known as the Tin Lizzie, immediately became a commercial success because of its durability and adaptability. Ford Motor Company has made a profit every year for the past many years. Nearly half of all American automobiles in 1918 were Model Ts, thanks to their low cost of ownership and ease of repair thanks to Henry Ford's development of the production line. It wasn't long until the Model A, built by Henry Ford and his son Edsel, became a commercial success, and the Ford Motor Company developed to enormous proportions. The assembly line. A moving assembly line for large production of automobiles was pioneered by Henry Ford in 1913. As a result, the cost of the vehicle T dropped from $850 in 1908 to $310 in 1926 for a much improved model because of this new method of construction. During World War I, Ford announced a $5 an hour wage for an 8-hour job, which was more than double what workers were making on average at the time. Ford's groundbreaking concept of a low-cost car built by competent workers earning a steady pay and having a 5-day, 40-hour workweek became more famous than his financial success. Philanthropy and Philosophy. Even though Ford strongly opposed World War I and even funded a peace ship to Europe, Henry Ford was an outspoken pacifist. Later, in 1936, Ford and his family formed the Ford Foundation to give ongoing funding for scientific research, education, and development. Employees who worked for Ford for 6 months and conducted themselves in a professional manner were eligible for profit sharing. In addition, the social department of the corporation investigated whether an employee was eligible for participation based on his or her history of drinking, gambling, and other immoral behavior. Anti-Semite Henry Ford. In spite of his charitable efforts, Ford was a staunch anti-Semite. When it came to supporting the Dearborn Independent newspaper, which advocated such ideas, he went all the way. Many anti-Semitic booklets were published by Ford, including The International Jew, The World's First Problem in 1921. In 1938, Adolf Hitler bestowed the highest honor on a foreigner, the Grand Cross of the German Eagle, on Henry Ford. During World War II, Ford Motor Company was accused of benefiting from thousands of forced laborers at a truck factory in Cologne, Germany, where it manufactured trucks. Ford, for its part, claimed that the Nazis, and not the company's American headquarters, were in charge of the manufacturing. According to Ford Motor Corporation's assessment in 2001, The German subsidiary was not profitable for the company, while at the same time offering to donate $4 million to human rights studies focusing on slavery and forced labor. Death. A brain hemorrhage killed Ford at the age of 83 on April 7, 1947, near his Dearborn estate, Fair Lane. The Henry Ford Museum is located in Dearborn. Collector, Henry Ford was fascinated by technological advancements and the lives of everyday people, including farmers, factory workers, shopkeepers and company owners. He decided to create a space where they could express themselves and share their interests and hobbies. When the Henry Ford Museum opened its doors to the public for the first time in Dearborn, Michigan, in 1933, thousands of items from Ford's personal collection were on show, as well as more recent additions, such as a Wienermobile, a presidential limousine, and other displays. Railroad roundhouses and engines, the Wright Brothers Bicycle Shop and the Menlo Park Laboratory of Thomas Edison are all on display in Greenfield Village's wide outdoor exhibit area. This is how Ford hoped to preserve a piece of American history and tradition. When we are finished, we shall have duplicated American life as lived. Thank you for listening in Audiobook Academy. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button for more content like this. See you in next video.